All right, guys, we are hand engraving a slide today. Let me see if I can get this nice and set for you guys so it actually looks decent. Okay, if any point in time you guys can't see or it's blurry, let me know, please. I'm going to do my best to hopefully convey and show what we're going to be doing here today. Today, this is going to be a little bit more complicated as this is a curved surface. I've got a jig up that allows me to spin it basically as we go. We've got our trusty ruby pencil right here to be able to basically scribe into the metal, and a trusty air graver from Steve Lindsay. Now we'll be using this one. I have really taken a liking to Steve Lindsay's air graver. I have a GRS as well, practically brand new. But this Lindsay graver right here is a pretty sweet one. Really do enjoy it. As far as zoom capability on my microscope, we're going to be at about probably about 15x. So I'm looking at this 15 times under the microscope. And yeah. Let's see. Sorry, just messaging someone. Okay. All right, guys. So, basically say your prayers is I always, no matter how or what I'm doing, I always get super nervous starting an engraving. Never fails. I get nervous just because, well, engravings are kind of one of those things that if I mess up on live, we are SOL. I'm SOL. You guys just get to watch me screw up, and then got to figure out how to hopefully fix my errors. Okay, there's the first backbone for it. I am not gonna lie, guys. That was it's always tough. Regardless of what you do, you never. Now we're just gonna give it a nice. Move it, shift it. Sure my tip is still good. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay, run that outside edge. Okay. Whew. I'm going to move back a little bit with the camera just so it maybe focuses a little bit better for you. There we go. All right, so there's the first flare backbone on there. Let me just make sure I've got a sharp tip here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I could feel something went different. So let's go ahead and sharpen this again. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to go and actually sharpen this on the machine real fast, so I'll be a minute or two. Till then, I'll go ahead and leave this here. All right. I'm back, guys. Sorry. We're gone there for a second. So we chipped the tip on this, and that's why I had to go actually restart the tip itself, which is not a good sign. I'll be honest. If we're already chipping tips that quick into the engraving, it's going to be a long day. Okay. Set. Cool. Okay. Same angle. We're good to go. DCY4. Yep, it's a 1911 slide. We are hand engraving the accents that go around it, kind of like similar to this right here. We're going to be doing it up top here. So let's see where we're at, guys. All right. And like I said, we just chipped the tip, so it's going to be long on this one. If I don't chip another tip for an hour or so, I'll be happy. This will be fun here. Let's see where we're at. We're spinning there. Okay, we're centered. Okay. Lock it in there. This is a 1911 slide, guys. We're working on today. And what we're doing is we're adding a flare cut, is what they call it. Now, the reason this is challenging for me as an engraver, or a lot of engravers, is actually because it's on a curved surface, so it's not a... Flat surfaces are fairly simple. Here you have to deal with the spinning as well as the variable surface, so it can become a little bit of a challenge. Go. Matt, as far as cost goes, usually my sharp rate goes for about $50 an hour if I can do it when it's hand engraving. I try to charge about what it takes time-wise. So it really just time on how big of a project. I can't say that, there's a set price for every single engraving. But I will say that hours can rack up, as you can tell, like during this live. We won't get super far on this, but it can rack up, guys. So it just depends on what you want when it comes to, engraved artwork. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this part, the deep relief part right here, this was actually done by laser. But as far as the scroll work itself, I want to keep it with hand engraved work. So and as far as sculpting work, like that deep relief, can it be done by hand? Yes, it definitely can. But boy, are you looking at a lot of hours and a lot of work. Okay. Luis Lopez, as far as a pull stick goes, I mean, depends on what you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to do the wood portion? Are you wanting to do like a metal inlay into it? If you want to do a metal inlay, yeah, for sure. You can do a pull stick as well if you have like a steel portion of it. Definitely can be done. Really, that's why people sometimes prefer the hand engraved method, especially for like car parts, is because lasers are readily available, but to do something as big as, like, say, a car bumper, you're looking at $1 million lasers from car factories versus I can get something done car wise by hand here in my shop or my garage. Okay. Pange, yeah. So we will plate or we will blue this. So my plan right now to do is we're gonna nickel and gold plate this portion, all the engraved portions, like right here, and then on the raw portions, like out here, we're gonna actually do a blue. So it'll be gold and black. So we'll do it 24 karat gold plating with blued out here. Engraving gives you no tactical advantage. If you're quoting Metal Gear Solid, totally understand that. If you truly believe that, then obviously you haven't dealt with smooth handguns in a competition setting. All right, let's see this. But yeah, I appreciate Metal Gear Solid quotes, no doubt. Jesse Salinas, as far as looking to get into engraving, man, I would suggest, obviously, depending on what you're looking at doing, is save up a bit for something nice like a Steve Lindsay engraver or a GRS engraver. You can pick one of these up used. I've found them for like $600 used, this system, and it is an amazing system to use. I've got a $2,500 GRS system, and I actually prefer this one right now as of lately. Um, if you can't quite afford that, I would say go with hammer and chisel. Learn how to draw. Big thing is learning how to draw scroll work and designs and understanding the simple rules that govern, artwork. If you're inclined with art, just draw, get comfortable with drawing it, and I think you'll grow nicely from there. And watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube, man. I mean, seriously, watching tutorials is huge, guys. All right, let's see if I can get this to actually focus, guys. Sorry. Maybe. Gosh, that is having trouble, isn't it? I'm gonna guess we chipped a tip. Yeah, we did. I saw that coming. I could feel the difference between the tip. As soon as it chipped, you see that little glint? That right there is all it takes. That tiny thing right there. You chip like that, and you can feel the graver just cut differently. It doesn't cut the same. It slips, and all it takes is just one wrong angle. And we're being pretty rough with this tip right now because of the curved angles and doing a. There we go. So you just got to deal with it here and there. Luckily, that was a pretty easy fix for it. Now we're back working. Yep, no kidding. Just the tip, yeah. Just that's all it takes. Just the tip, and you screw yourself on here. There's your first leaf. Looks good. Let's look. Okay, we're gonna cant this in. So if you can tell, we got to go from one side to the other. So we're cutting. We're using the knife edge of the graver to cut these angles to give it that glint. So we're going on that right side. So this is your backhand. The reason it's called a backhand is because we're going backhand. We're twisting the back, forehand, twisting that guy. Gus, yeah, man. I mean, like right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty nerve wracked. I'm sweating a little bit, and I don't know if there any point in time when engravers get good enough. There's ever a time where they're like, oh yeah, I feel comfortable. Luckily, I consider this art, so if I make a little happy F up, then well, it's art. And art it ain't meant to be perfect, but still, you know. Okay, there's one cut. Oh, nice, Gus. Yeah, man. Awesome to have a gunsmith on here. That's dope. I wish I could do that. I think that's an art form in and of itself. Getting everything just right, especially if you hand fit stuff, man. Whew, good on you. I just like the drawing and engraving portion, and that's what I've really gone with. I don't even work on these guns. I have a gunsmith for that. I just like the art portion. And don't worry about these scratches, guys. We'll polish those out. So I know this looks all scratched up, but believe me, we still have to buff a little bit, especially on these flat sides. Christopher, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Vlaman, it's a Victor, I believe, is the one I'm using. I think I'm gonna end up investing in another one, hopefully later on this year. That's a little bit better. I don't like how high this one stands. It tends to be top heavy, and my work tends to move while I'm engraving. So I really, what I recommend this one, not really, other than it is heavy. But it tends to move, and I'm not a huge fan of that. That's for sure. Okay, engraver's still sharp. I always check it after every couple. Guys, I apologize. I don't know why my camera's having such issues today as far as focusing. It's going in and out of focus. Christopher, I picked it up on my own. I just watched I mean, when I tell you that I watched a ton of YouTube, I mean, I watched a ton of YouTube. So all these techniques and tips and tricks are from like the great engravers, Sam Alfano, Lane Zilke, all those guys. I have watched countless hours of their work. Weldon Lister, like all these guys, man, they are amazing. I look at their work and I'm just like, man, I hope to hopefully one day be that good. And as far as clean work, thank you, appreciate it. Now, have I screwed up a gun or two? Yeah, man, I have one in my collection. It's my very first one, and it's kind of funny compared to some of these that I do now. But I kept it because I feel like it's a great reminder of where you start and how I screwed up a gun or two. Okay. As you can tell, we've scribed in some of the other work. I'm going to grab some alcohol and kind of wipe this away so we can kind of see what this looks like. And this camera is just struggling today. RTS patterns, man, you got to draw them. Hand draw stuff, man. I mean, that's the best way, and I think that's where the industry's kind of going bad or wrong, in the wrong turn is we're relying so much on, I guess, just computer generated stuff, and people are engraving a lot of random stuff now. That sometimes it follows the rules, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of people are plagiarizing stuff, and I mean, it's one thing to use computer generated stuff, like, okay, but it's another to go and, people are literally ripping off some of the greats' artwork. And man, let's just come up with some art, man. And that's what I hopefully can teach here, is I like to come up with a little bit of art on my own. So I have a couple different tools that I like to use, but the one that we're using right now is the Lindsay air graver. So Steve Lindsay air graver right here. Oh, man, why is my camera? I apologize, guys. I do not know why this camera is having such a heck of a time today. stream the other day and it was not having this sort of issue, and now it just seems like it's having issues every single time, guys. Yeah, I don't know why it's... Maybe that'll work. All right, let's see. All right, let's make sure we're set where we need to be at. That's where we're at right there. Okay, so a few scratches here and there. We'll get those taken out, no worries. As you can tell, we've got the bright cut set. Let's go ahead and gotta finish this portion right here. So let's draw that in before we do anything else. Lyman, man, thanks, appreciate it, man. Glad to have another graver here. If you can engrave gold, especially jewelry, you can definitely engrave steel. It is a little, I mean, it's a harder metal, no doubt, but you can actually press a little harder than you can into gold just because gold is so soft. Yeah, definitely get onto some steel, practice on it. I mean, you don't really lose much with steel, especially if you just get a random piece of steel. Put a leaf there. A little bit of a flower there. I don't like how uneven that was, but okay. Gives us a little bit basic design of what we're going to draw right there. Okay. It's a nice leaf. It's a real nice leaf right there. I do like how that looks right now. Well, I mean, you can burnish them. I mean, that's what I'm going to do with a lot of this stuff. Like any of these little tiny micro scratches, they'll get polished out at the end. I try to make as few as I can, just because it's not great when you do it, but sometimes I can't help from doing it. But yeah, we polish it out. It'll brush out here and there, as long as it's not a deep cut. If you make a deep cut, then yeah, it's a little harder than gold on that part. go. Good. Okay, make one cut there. And one cut back out right here. And then you will. Sweet. I actually like how that leaf system came out. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, though, I really do appreciate you guys subscribing. I am hoping next week we can break that threshold for monetization. And it's kind of hard on YouTube to monetize, you know? But hopefully next week we hit the hour mark that they require for the initial application. So these really tight little portions right here, man, they put a ton of stress on your tip, and it's pretty common to chip a tip. So all right, let's see. We'll do a backhand cut now on this one. Awesome. I know that we got Vlaman or VLman. I don't even know how to Vlaman. He's an engraver. Any other engravers on here? You guys are on here, man. I definitely like tips, tricks. Awesome. We're coming up on that hour, guys. Usually I try to do 1 hour streams and call it a night. It's just, art can get kind of burnt out if you do art, I don't know if anybody else does art on here or not, but if you do art enough, you can kind of burn yourself out. So I try to not burn myself out if I can help it. Oh boy. All right, we're gonna address a chip before it gets worse. So the key to addressing chips is you have to address them right off the rip. If I don't address this chip right now, it creates a microfracture, which can, in any other stressful moment, as far as like cutting, it'll actually create a bigger cut. Man, these gloves are getting in my way right now. Okay. Come on this side. Go. Okay. Simple. And we've addressed that chip. Back on we move. Dan, appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. All right, let me get over here. Foot pedal in the way. Okay. Sit there. Let's look and see where we're at. Again, these tight corners are where most of your stress is going to come in at. So you want to work it kind of light, shallower angle. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. RTS, yeah, they're just basically scribe marks. You use like a sharp pointed ceramic pen or a ruby stone in this case. Yeah, so I usually use this to scribe in just because if the marker's really not that accurate, to be honest. That marker's really a very, very rough outline. The scratches are a little bit more in depth and they stick there a lot longer. So that's really why we go with that. Okay, we're still cutting good. So I had to check my tip on that one just because it felt like we were switching up a little bit on the cutting side. There we go. So this part we went a little wider, which is fine because we're probably going to end up adding a scroll right there to kind of, I wouldn't say it's an imperfection, but it's an inconsistency compared to the rest of the backbone. But I do have an answer as far as a solution for that goes. Make sure that we're still sharp. We're still sharp. Go. Awesome. That came out decently clean. I like it. We'll grab some alcohol just to clean it up, just so we can kind of see and make sure everything is where we want to be at. Dope. That looks pretty good, guys. Some of that negative space, like the inconsistency here and here, we're going to fill in with the beginning of another outer scroll for the leaf system right here. Let's see, I'll show you what I mean. All right, so we'll start here. Let's look at this. Okay, so we've got here, we're working on a 1911 slide, guys. Hand engraving some scroll work into it. Awesome. So notice how some of that negative space now is taken up right there, and that's what we were wanting right there. So now what we can do is we can come back in with a big leaf. There we go. Come back this way. Creates that first leaf right there. And then we're going to create basically a swooped leaf this way, and we'll go from here. You know what? I see a micro fracture starting. And like I said before, if we deal with it now, it's quick and easy. If we deal with it later, because we're lazy, then we're going to start having issues. So all I have to do is just sharpen up this face. Okay. Drew Bartley, as far as the Last Supper, so the Last Supper portion was not done by hand. The Last Supper portion, as far as the sculpting goes, was done by laser. I did design it, did draw it out, but it was ultimately done by hand because I'm not great at sculpting quite yet. So I didn't trust myself to try to sculpt it. But we did do the hand engraved borders and the scroll work on it. That was all hand engraved. So this is what we call technically part of hybrid. So like this part right here was laser engraved, and we went through. We'll still probably hit it with some hand engraving at the end just to give it that better feel and look. Because it definitely looks like it's computer, or like not computer generated, but laser cut. All right, let's see. Trying to think where I want this at. There we go. But as far as the difference goes, something like this, oh man, why is that? I mean, we are having issues today with focusing, guys. So this isn't as bright. I'm trying to, I wish I had the other example here. Thought I did. Let me show you an example. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you the example of the difference. So this right here is Um, I do not know what is going on with this dang camera today. It was maybe my LiDAR's dirty or something. Maybe. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and show you the difference. So this right here is laser engraved right here. So we've got laser engraved portions right here. Nothing too crazy, right? This is already polished a little bit, buffed. Okay. Now let me show you the hand engraved one. I'm not done with hand engraving, but it was just an example. So look at that glint. You see the difference? This isn't even polished, and this is just cut. And that is the difference right there, guys. So hand engraved, laser engraved. Let's see if I can get it to focus up close. But right there. So just a difference of what it looks like right there. So that's why I like this one. So that's why I like to do a lot of hand engraving. It just looks cleaner. Now, with that being said, if you get me, a year ago versus me now, I would go with the laser engraved piece because I sucked. But I've gotten a little bit better, and so choose your artists wisely when it comes to engraving stuff. This phone today is giving me more crap than it has all year long, and I do not know why. All right, there we go. Maybe. All right, guys. Okay, so I've got dinner waiting for me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this is the piece right here. We've got quite a bit of work to go. But yeah, it just here. Let's show it. So this will be a pretty cool piece. I really do like the hand engraved piece on this portion and just the touches of hand engraved. So all right, guys. Well, until next time, thank you for tuning in. Keep on engraving, keep on creating art. If you're looking to get started, please feel free to shoot me a message, subscribe, and until next time, peace. Love y'all.